Welcome into another episode of Chic and Ball. I'm your host, Els the Truth, and on today's show, we got the top 10 fifth-year seniors starting at number 10 with Lauren Jensen. Lauren Jensen got game. She got the ability to put the ball on the floor. She's ambidextrous and very good at finishing with the left hand. She's not as quick or as athletic as most players, but being a 5'10 guard, that always keeps her in position to make stops and get rebounds. And watch her right here just reject the screen and get to the mid-range game. The stronger she get, that pull-up game gonna only get so much better. My favorite thing about Lauren Jensen is how quick her release is. All she needs is a second to rock you to sleep, and she do got the first step to get past you, but that jump shot is lethal. And she got confidence. She knows she got a jumper, so she used her pump fake to keep her defense off balance. And another scoop of ice cream. And no disrespect to the Creighton Bluejays because they got some really nice players. But Lauren Jensen herself, I think she'll fit in with way better players when she gets to the pros. She kind of remind me of Kate Martin. She got the IQ and the jumper, and she's tough on defense. Coming in at number 9, we have a player who's going to be playing on their third university in the last 3 years. I'm talking new recruit to the TCU Horned Frogs, Hailey Van Lith. Hailey Van Lith has so much offensive talent, and this is what I want to see her get back to this year. Those Louisville days when she was just playing free. I mean, the mid-range game's still smooth. She's still one of the biggest trash talkers out there. Her last year at Louisville, she averaged shooting 5.5 threes per game. If she start letting it go like that again, then she can get back to that 19-20 point average. And if you don't watch the TCU Horned Frogs, they got Sedona Prince and Maddie Connor, two of the top players in the nation who definitely will be getting into the pros, I can promise you that. Pairing these three together, TCU might just make a run in the tournament. One thing about Hailey Van Lith she didn't get to show at LSU is she is one of the quickest guards in transition with the ball in her hand. And most of the time when Angel Reese was getting a rebound, she was bringing it up herself. She was not trying to let Hailey Van Lith do her thing. And then LSU have Michaela Williams, who also brings the ball up, Flau'jae, Lasterpoa. We already mentioned Angel Reese, and Anissa Merle brought it up sometimes. With her going to TCU, this is going to put her back in the primary ball handler position, and she's going to showcase some talents that she did at Louisville. Coming in at number 8 is a player that's living that mental tough life. She already has a bachelor's degree in psychology and pursuing a master's degree in couples and family therapy. I'm talking about the young woman going into her 7th year of eligibility, Ayoka Lee. I know Kansas State is in love with Ayoka Lee. Coming back for another year, finishing out that master's degree, she already holds several school records including all-time defensive rebounder, all-time leader in blocks per game, defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, field goal percentage, offensive win shares, points per game, usage, win shares, defensive win shares. And she only gonna put those records so much more out of reach by coming back another year. Now her playmaking and IQ goes unnoticed because she gets the ball out so quick on the offense. But she got the ability to fight out of double teams, even triple teams, because she's 6'6". She can see over everybody. She doesn't turn her ball over. Unlike most bigs her size, she's able to get blocks and not commit fouls. She only averaged 2 fouls last year, but got 3 blocks per game. Can't wait to see what she and the Wildcats do this year. Coming in at number 7 is a player that's on everybody's guest list. And I ain't gonna make you guess who it is. I'm talking about new recruit to the Oregon Ducks, Deja Kelly. I think Deja Kelly is some of everybody's favorite player. Because she's so likable off the court and on the court, we tend to overlook the stats and what she's actually doing in the games. Now the mid-range game for Deja Kelly is always going to be there. If she get to that spot, it's pretty much a wrap. And she get to that spot very often, probably almost any time she want to. But really what we need is for Deja to be able to convert on more of her attempts. She saw a decline in her field goal percentage and free throw percentage. And with the amount of time she get to the free throw line, her point average should have been over 20. But she's such a fan favorite, we want to see her out there. The basketball guys love her too, as you see the lucky bounce on the 3. But the best thing about Deja is she can definitely handle the ball. She can run the plays and get teams in and out of offense. And if you didn't see our last episode of 345 where we talked about her new teammate, Filipina Che, please go check that out if you haven't already so you can see one of her new teammates. And she'll have Grace Van Sluten, who's a nice scorer from Ohio. And with those two, she should be able to show the scouts how good of a playmaker she really is. Coming in at number 6 is a player who was reportedly in a transfer portal, but last time I checked her IG, she was still rocking that crimson. I'm talking about the sharpshooter, Aaliyah Nye. Now, when we talk about sharpshooters, this is one that you gotta have and wanna have on your team. Just this past season, she finished 3rd in 3 points made with 108 threes. And she only played in 34 games, so that's about 3 threes a game. The 2 players she was behind, 2 gunners, Caitlin Clark and Deja Fair. And we know she don't shoot it nearly as much as those 2, but she do shoot a higher percentage from 3, shooting it at 41% this past season. She got the ability to take them off the dribble, stop on the dime and hit that midi. She got a pretty nice handle on the ball as well. Not much of a playmaker, but not high turnovers. Very high IQ player. Now watch her right here, use the screen, and stare down the 3-pointer right over Angel Reese. Then on his next play, watch her reject the screen, go to her left side, and then throw up a floater. And like I said many times before, the floater works on any level. And one place she gonna get a lot of open shots if and when she goes to the pros is that short corner 3. If she can somehow get drafted to a team like, let's say, the Dallas Wings, where she get to play with Enrique Agumbawale and Satu Sabali, 2 players that's amazing at creating baskets for other players, all she got to do is sit that corner or sit around anywhere from the 3-point line, and she gonna rack up the points with ease. Coming in at number 5 is a player who's a teammate of Aaliyah Nye and the fearless leader of the Alabama Crimson Tide. They call her S.A., Sarah Ashlee Barker. Sarah Ashlee Barker had an amazing breakout season, raising her point average by 10 points, going from 7 to 17. And when I mean breakout season, I really mean breakout season. This was the only year in college where she averaged more than 7 points. So it might be a little too early to put her this high up on the list, but with her IQ and feel for the game, I really think she can only build on this and get a whole lot better. And this ain't just your regular player. She's a 3-way, 2-level player. Got the ability to get the rebound, take it coast to coast, goes to her left hand a lot, gets a lot of and-ones. With her having the ball in her hand a lot, she is prone to turnovers. I think it would be good for her to play with another point guard so she don't got to handle the ball as much, because she can make plays within the offense, but I don't think she should be the one creating it. But she is a crash threat on both ends of the floor. She kind of remind me of Gerald Wallace, old Crash Wallace. She in the lane on defense, she gonna draw charges, she going for blocks and steals. She play reckless, almost like she don't got no care for her body. She from Birmingham, Alabama, so it's kind of funny that she started her first 2 years in Georgia, and it took that for them to see that she belonged at home. Like all young players, she just need to work on her percentages, but she is legit. If you made it this far in the show, thank you for listening and watching. Please like the video, share the video, comment your thoughts, and let's keep this train moving. Coming in at number 4, former Virginia Tech Hokie, current Kentucky Wildcat, Georgia Amoore. Now Georgia, she's a player that's received a lot of criticism for coming back for this 5th year. A lot of people feel like she's just following her coach into doom over in Kentucky. As a whole, they don't have much talent, and she only gonna be there for 1 year, so I'm not sure how much they gonna really be able to improve. But even with that, the talent is there. She's shown it on the international level. She showed it in the tournament games. And I think the type of player and point guard she is not really going to affect her draft stock that much. I think she should take this year and go all out and play like she played in her junior year. In her junior year, she was shooting 9.5 3-pointers per game. She already a primary ball handle, quintessential point guard. We already know she can set the table better than Gordon Ramsay. But again, I think she should use this year to try to become more of a scorer. Because of her height being only 5'6", scoring 19 points a game last year was pretty good. But she was also dishing out 7 dimes. I don't see 7 assists coming on this Kentucky team, so why not just take more shots? Coming in at number 3 is the only national champion on today's list, defending national champion Te-Hina Paopao. I mean, how many pros is South Carolina going to produce over the next 3-4 years? It's really getting ridiculous out here. Spread the talent around, Don. But hey, she do what she got to do, just like Te-Hina Paopao doing what the hell she doing out here from the 3-point line. 46% from 3, led the entire NCAA in that percentage. She don't get enough credit for her defense, but she in the right place at the right time. She get key blocks and key steals in big moments. In this game against UConn, she scored 21 points and went 5 of 7 from 3, 8 of 12 shooting overall. And I know a lot of y'all follow South Carolina very closely. If you remember, during the first 15 games of the year, she was shooting 57% from 3. And I just had to keep watching because I was like, if she keep this up, this is going to be ridiculous. But the law of averages, the basketball guys brought her back down to earth. But I know she had to feel like she was in basketball heaven for a moment. And she capped it all off with the national title. Coming in at number 2 is a player that missed all of last year. But even with that, her talent still warrants her to be a top 5 draft pick. But right now, she's number 2 on this list. I'm talking about Olivia Miles. Now, of course, Olivia Miles missed all of last year, so I had to go deep into the vault to get these highlights. But I'm seeing one of the most talented players in college basketball. I mean, she got the ball skills and IQ like Alyssa Thomas. In other words, she's a walking triple-double. And she a big guard. She's 5'10", able to see over most guards trying to defend her. She got a real good balance between shooting and passing. Only 11 shots per game, but 7 assists. I would definitely love to see her score the basketball a little bit more. She got a good looking jump shot, but the percentage from 3 is just not where it needs to be. Right now, she only 24% from 3, but everything else is excellent. With Olivia and Hannah Hidalgo on the same team, I don't know. I think they might get to the Final Four. And not to get too far off topic, but those 2 players might be the best 2 backcourt players to ever play together. I don't know how it's going to work because they both ball dominant. They both primary ball handlers, but if they can make it work, they might be the team that can take down South Carolina. Coming in at number 1, to no one's surprise, the top player on the list, top personality on the list, Paige Bueckers. For me, this has to be Paige Bueckers' year. She's no doubt going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. Everybody is in the consensus of that. But what I don't want is for Paige to go down as one of the great UConn players to never win. I honestly believe that's why she came back for this 5th year, because she wanted to put one in the rafters. Even if she would have came out in this previous draft, she would have went number 2 behind Caitlin Clark and probably should be number 1. I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking Paige Bueckers over Caitlin Clark. I think her game is just way more well-rounded. I think she's more of a team player and players fit in playing with her versus Caitlin Clark, where you got to fit into the Caitlin Clark system. But this is not a debate. We can debate that another day. But seriously, Paige Bueckers has to win. In the 3 years Paige Bueckers been credited for playing in the NCAA, she's been to 2 Final Fours and 1 national championship that they lost to South Carolina. And don't get it misconstrued, I'm not saying if she don't win that it's going to somehow diminish her college career. Nah, don't try that, because she great and UConn had a whole bunch of injuries throughout her time there, including herself being injured. But let me know how you feel about that in the comments. Have a final look at our top 10 5th-year seniors. Any problems with the list, let us know. Any players we forgot, let us know. Don't get so caught up in the commentary that you forget to enjoy the highlights. But thank you for everybody for listening and watching. I'm Els the Truth for PRNM. Talk to you on the next one.